Jay Haynes for the Film Sensei YouTube channel. Today in this video I'm going to talk about how to rotoscope in HitFilm. Alright, so when I say how to rotoscope, I'm talking about keyframing the path of the mask that you're rotoscoping. And today I'm going to use a mask and I'm going to rotoscope this right here. And I'm going to do that using this Smoke Wisp MP4. So I'm just going to drag this into a composite shot. And then what I'll do is I'll create a new text. And I will just this way, and I'll mess around with this a little bit. Okay, and now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and just add a point. And I will parent both of these to that point. And then I will adjust the parameters of this point a little bit so that it is exactly where I want it to be. Okay, so now I have this, and this is what I want. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to rotoscope the text itself, and I'm going to use a mask to do that. And it's going to come across basically removing the Film Sensei text. So to start, I'm going to come back here, and about right here, I'm just going to add a freehand mask. I'll zoom in here a little bit on this. And I'm just going to create several points that are going to essentially follow this cloud like this. And I want several points because you never know how many you're really going to need. All right, so now that I've done that, what I will do is go ahead and turn off the mask so that I can see where it's at. All right, and opening up the properties, I'll go to transform and I will go ahead and select the path keyframe, adding one right here. Okay, now what's going to happen is I'm going to go to the very end of it. So I'm not going to actually go through each of these positions. Instead, I'm going to go to the very end, and then I will go ahead and make these things happen. So I'll grab all of these, I'll drag them over, and notice that it's now made a keyframe. And then I'm going to go ahead and just position these along the edge of the smoke line. Okay, now that I've done that, I can go ahead and basically see how that transposes in between, right? And it's not perfect, but it feels pretty close. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to go to the middle, and this is really the key. I'm going to bisect this about even in half, and then I'm going to create a new keyframe here and position this as the same. And I am going to go ahead and follow the line even though it doesn't need to, because that will affect the keyframes in front of it and behind it and that sort of a thing. Okay, now I may actually have to turn off the text so that I can see where I need to have this, and then I can go ahead and turn back on the text again when I'm done. And so now I have a keyframe bisecting this. So now I'll back up to bisect the first two keyframes, and then I will go ahead and do the same thing again. Okay, then I will continue this process. So now I will come and bisect these two keyframes here. Then I will keep doing this until it feels like it's mostly correct. And I can make adjustments again. In fact, I think what I'll do is go ahead and bisect these two and these two and these two and these two. And then I think I'll probably be pretty close. Let's see. So now I've done that, and I have 9 different keyframes that I've set up. And I know you say, wow, there's only 9 of these, and that's probably not enough. And for certain projects, it might not be enough, in which case I would go ahead and bisect again and again, right? But the point is that you don't want to necessarily go through and do each keyframe, especially in this kind of a scenario where all you have to do is just keep cutting the ones that you have in half, because a lot of times the interpolation between those will do the job for you. And so you're making a lot more extra work by going through and moving everything on every single frame. So now if I go ahead and turn this on and I just flip that, the other thing I probably will do is go ahead and add a little bit of a feather, maybe 20 pixels worth. That'll cover a lot of the little artifacting that happens. And Wow, I mean, that looks really pretty good. A couple of small things I might clean up, and that's it. It really isn't as hard as you think it would be to keyframe a rotoscoping mask. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. And otherwise, thanks for watching.